You are listening to the Centropic Oracle, an audiobook podcast of science fiction and fantasy short stories that make you think and feel.
Oh, Sing Me My Muse by Brandon Nolta. After the crash, I explored. Survival was no worry. My supplies were many, and it was just me in the courier ship, flying non-reproducible artifacts and objets d'art to wherever they go. Boredom, that was my main concern. Communications were down, and I'd forgotten to pack a book before I left. Go ahead and laugh. Then I found the Jewel Plains. What little information my IPS had about the planet didn't indicate anything like what climbing a purple-grassed ridge revealed. Across bushes and sand, a shattered rainbow's worth of worn glass and metal. Time had done its work on everything in view. Nothing was free of scoring by sand and wind, rain and sunlight, but the colors still beamed, and the erosion on every surface spoke something new. Against the scrub of a habitable but unremarkable desert world, everything looked made for the light. From boredom and opportunity, I became an artist. Eventually, rescue came. The shipping lanes are vast, but never empty. A small jump ship pinged my rescue beacon and swooped out of orbit within a day. The pilot bounded out of her ship and shook my hand, followed by a pair of medics in their silent med-drone shadows. They asked me some questions, confirmed my identity, and took care of a myriad of details. All standard, but I was impatient with their efficiency and professional concern. When they finished, I pulled them to the edge of the Jewel Plains, where I had found a trove of pieces of all sizes. Here I'd set my studio, slightly sheltered from the wind by the low rise that blocked the crash site. Out of pride, I showed them what I'd made, structures of light, rivers of molten color. Beauty formed painstakingly in the desert light. I turned to the pilot. Her face was ashen. "How could you?" she asked, searching my face, my eyes. I know now what she sought, and hope not to find. Perhaps I was lucky that she didn't. I've come to think otherwise. "I don't understand," I said. "Those ingots! Don't you know where you are?" My confusion was answer enough. She sighed, and something seemed to leave her. When she looked at me again, I saw pity. "Those are pieces of ships, remains of armadas and their crews," she said. "This moon," she stammered, "was the final battleground of a horrific war, left abandoned as a warning." She told me the battle's name, the armies involved, as though they had been ingrained from childhood. She told me a story that had passed from politics to history to myth, and I could only look at my hands, dusty and strong and profaned. They led me away then, carefully, quietly. I couldn't speak on the trip back to Iroquois Station, not even to tell them my destination. There was an investigation of exquisite politeness and understanding. I was exonerated, reassigned, covered in words like good faith. This is what I know. My art springs from death. They forbid me to return.
We hope you enjoyed Oh Sing Me My Muse by Brandon Nolta, read by C.B. Droege. If you'd like to learn more about the author and narrator of this story or make a donation to them, follow the story page link in the description. If you would like to submit a story for consideration or apply to be a narrator, a link to our submission guidelines is in the description. This story is copyrighted 2020 by the Centropic Oracle.